live for another episode of Freaky Friday. More like Tales from the Crypt. I watched a crazy movie right now, and I'm like, oh man, everything aligns, right? Everything happens for a reason and shit. And it was a really trippy movie, and I shared something about it in my community page, and we're about to go off the deep end. Really? Oh, yeah. What's up, everyone? I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel. Just got a huge download. It was like that would mean every spiritual person is crazy. Mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil. I am your messenger god, the first child of God, the Lilith, reincarnated. In order to keep up with me, you would have seen obviously what I'm talking about, my community page, my latest live video, and anything in my shorts. To the new people, welcome aboard the crazy train. All aboard! Did you hear? Did you hear motherfucking Ozzy Osbourne? That was great. All right, let's see. So I started my last video and I was like, people come and go, but they just can't take the craziness. It's like, at what point of my teaching you're like, she's crazy? There's always challenges to my authority about what I know and what I don't know, and I can prove that in this life there's no way I could have known such things. My story is unbelievable, and it's the type of shit that will get you in a psychiatric ward if you can't back up your fucking legitimacy of it. And that's where science and medicine comes in, and then government tries to manhandle a bitch. Really? Because if I'm not crazy, which they'll prove, and I'm true, then that makes me dangerous. That makes me, you know what I mean, given my free will and the rights given to me as an American citizen, they have no control over me or my abilities given to me by God. Really? Yeah. It's very glorious in that sense. I'm not so protected outside of the freedom states of America. Wait, I have a green card. Freedom to religion and all that. Let's just talk about the whole basics of it. When you become spiritual, you're deemed crazy because you believe in the unseen. And yet, there's Christians that pray to an unseen God. I don't know. And that's where it is. I had started the other video. I was like, you want to get into fairyland? I will tell you about all the different levels of fairies and how to meditate with them. I have a book that we can introduce you to all of the archangels. I can teach you all of this. What shall you do with it? Is there somebody that could come in and sit next to me for longer than a day and not see that God is real? So what was it? It was some crazy movie called K-Pax. And this dude's like, I'm from the planet something. K-Pax. That's what it was called. And he's in a mental ward, and they're like, they don't know if he's crazy or if he's serious. And he's seriously crazy. Because like he's serious. And like it's seriously going on. And then the ending is totally trippy. And you're like, was he real or was he not? That's like asking if Jesus was real or if he wasn't. If the fucking stories of Moses were real or if they weren't. If your friend really fucking saw a ghost. And if aliens really believe or really exist. Are we still having these conversations in 2025? And 2026 and far into the future? How many aircraft do you have to see go across the sky before you believe in aliens? You're not wanting to believe. You want to disbelieve it. You want to prove it to be wrong, not believe that it's right. You want to be right. Why? Because you don't want to be wrong. If I'm right, then you're fucking living wrong. And everything you've been taught is wrong. And everything you believe is wrong. And you can't stand the idea of being wrong. and that you need to be right. Am I crazy or you're crazy? Because I can pull out all of these books and say, hey, bro, this is what they told us to do, and we're not living right. They're like, no, that's not what they said. What the fuck are you talking about? Shall I get another book? So going back to something like the cards, right? I own all these cards. And they're like, I didn't know you did the cards. I don't do the cards. The cards do us. I just use them to figure in, to relay the message. What are we talking about right now? Your belief system and how limited it is. Do you believe any of the ancient stories of any cultures or only your own? And how much of your own culture do you believe? Depending on your cultural beliefs, how many of those stories do you really believe, bro? Or you just say that bullshit? Do you believe that Jesus walked on water? Or you want to believe it? Could you see it? Or you can't believe it? Okay. What about that Moses parted the Red Sea? Do you believe that story? And that he was talking to a burning bush on the top of a mountain? I had this moment with Mr. Plum in his garden. And I felt later when he told me what he told me later. No, stop touching my stuff. It probably does, but I don't want to use it yet. When he told me later, I felt really upset that we even had this conversation. But as a person that does mediumship and talks to spirits, you're deemed crazy, and that's not possible. And you can't see such things, and they don't exist. And I remember crying to him, and it's like, how is it that that I'm crazy just because I can see this? Like, how can I be in a place where you guys say doesn't exist, but I see it every day? And he says to me very kindly, just because I can't see spirits doesn't mean you can't see spirits. Because we were arguing about some shit in the Bible, right? The Bible says that all the spirits go to a resting place. And I asked him what that place looked like. And he described what people paint in pictures of clouds. And he saw people that were happy and singing and joyful. I asked him, what does this place look like to you? This place, you know what I mean, where all these spirits are waiting, according to your book. Because your imagination creates it. And I asked him, it's like, how can they can all be in this place? How can I be in that place with them and nobody else? What's the clouds thing? It's just how they drew it. Do you think there's weather in heaven? Think about gravity first. Like, I can really fuck you up with this. There's no gravity, and we're not in form. So to see us in, you know what I mean? Do you think that people die and the form they died in is the form that they're sitting on clouds in? One of my famous questions that I ask people is, where is heaven and where is hell? When I ask them where heaven is, they look up into outer space, where all the stars and the planets lie. I'm like, but where? Where is he hiding this place from you? And when I ask people where hell is, they want to like look down at the ground. Like we know that if I dig from here to fucking China, there's not this place in the middle where people are suffering for their sins, other than me driving my driving force to prove America wrong or prove the world wrong, is the only person suffering that sin at that moment. Belief. Do you believe the shit you've been told? And you'll die for it? Do you even know it to be true? And how can your life be so true and theirs be a lie if they'll die for it too? If they swear to God and you swear to God and you just haven't seen what they've seen. You deny people the truth and the ability to believe. So later, Mr. Plum tells me a story. He tells me a story about after his father died. I don't remember exactly the time period, but he does. He said one day he came home and he walked into his room, and there stood his father's spirit, and he gave him some messages and told him to go tell to tell his widowed wife and his sister some messages. And he ran and he left his home and he told them. He failed to tell me that story. He said he had only told that story to one other person in his church because the church doesn't believe that you can have a spiritual experience with the spirit realm. So he couldn't tell the people of the church that he had experienced his father's spirit at his home. So imagine to his surprise as I'm walking around his kitchen on Easter, and he can literally see it, but I only sense it, that his family spirit is guiding me to cook him an Easter dinner traditional to them. I have no idea. I've never done this in any of my traditions. We're cooking steak, and I'm cooking it in a way I've never known to ever do. He said, that's how my mama used to cook it. And he said, we used to cook steak every Easter. I'm like, don't you see that it was them that guided me through all of this? I didn't know what I was doing. I was guided to do such things. They're right here. I was guided to put their picture. He had pictures of them in the back room. I was guided to put up a picture of his mother and his father and put some flowers and an altar to remind them that they're very present. Later, after I left, he put his mama's picture back in the back room and whatnot. But I was trying to make him understand that, he's not sitting there alone. They're sitting right up underneath him, sending him all kinds of love and all kinds of memories and everything like that. Really? Yeah, they taught me how to cook some great food too. They taught me all kinds of great stuff. His mama taught me all kinds of great stuff. And there was the spirit of this other woman that lived there. I forgot who he said, Miss Frey? I'm not sure. It was a cool old black woman. She loved him to death. She made sure he got that house. It was a long story. Beautiful black woman, but her spirit was there, and I could feel it. She was telling me her story about a foreign love, and he told me the whole story. He knew. He would listen to me. I would catch them, and I would tell him about these spirits, and he would tell me the stories. He would put in the pictures. He knew I was talking to dead people, dude. He knew that I was real, and that's what I said. One day, Mr. Plum, they'll come and they'll ask you, was she real? You just make sure you tell them I did all of that in Jesus' name. It really is. And even you'll see it and still can't believe it. Then sometimes you just can't not deny it. And that's what you have to stand on. It's not so much me, and that's the glory in what I teach. And why I teach everyone is Jesus said that this was available to everyone. The awakening, enlightenment, these, you know what I mean? You're reconnecting with your soul and your higher self is something that people had been studying for decades and decades. I'm just the only one that fully went all in, and that's because that was my destiny to be that one. But I mean, going back to Dolores Cannon and to all of those that wrote the books of, these times to guide us through it, they were already starting it. That was their life's work. And now we get to finish their life's work and make sure that everyone's lives work. It's not in tarot. It's not in the Bible. It's not in, you know what I mean, the Bhagavad Gita or the Book of Buddha. It's not in the magical shit. It's in all of that. And all of that comes from all different cultures and all different types of people. And all of those people live here in America. They're the ancients, dude. They're the starseeds. They're the chosen ones, landed in the free land where they can express and do what they could not do, what they were restrained to do. Women that have rights that could not do anything in their foreign countries are now powerful leaders. And, here in America, the land of the free, the home of the brave, we don't really stand in that, but we are that. We all come from very sacred ancient bloodlines that traveled, you know what I mean, the furthest seas to give us these freedoms that we have surrendered to constitutions and institutions of moral thinking. At this moment, I sound like I'm a whole, I don't know, aristocrat in front of a crowd. It's like I'm about to start the fucking revolution. Going back to Martin Luther King and to all of them, it's like they can take away your freedom, but they can't take away your belief. You know what I mean? Your ability to believe in a better day will provide just that, and that's the ability to manifest. Your thoughts will create. But as they take away your ability to believe in great things, so shall you never receive great things. They persecute you with the idea that this is that and this is that, and you know what I mean? You're never going to be worth anything and you're never going to have anything and you have to work harder and you're undeserving and this, that, and the other. Jesus tried to, you know what I mean, free you for such a mindset and made you believe in the power that you did have and that you were created to do all great things. You lose that as you get older, as even in innocence as a child. They start limiting you to telling you, no, you can't do that. No, you're too little. No, you're too fat. No, you're a girl. You can't do that. No, you're a boy. No, we don't act like that. And you're not supposed to do that. And we can't afford that. And that, and the other. Instead of finding ways to let you be what I. And it's not about spoiling your children, but encouraging your children in their expression because you didn't get to express yourself. It's not about giving them the best life, but allowing them to express life. They don't have to have finest things to have the finest life. They have to have a joyful life full of lots of experiences and, you know what I mean, lots of love. And from that, you know, they can share that energy out there in a place where people have limited experiences and they get no love. Realistically, yeah. So as I sit here with all of this, and it's like I come running in, help is on the way, the spiritual help. All of this does what? If you call me in a state of emergency, am I going to bring cards? Nope. I'm not bringing really any of this. I mean, I might have some shit in my car, and definitely not cards. I don't keep cards in my car. What books? I don't know. I don't think there's any, to be honest. There's a bunch of herbs and just my belief. I don't need to run at you with some fucking stones. I don't need any of this. That's just ritual acts to honor the gods. I believe that in a moment of emergency, I can and I can pray for this. I can walk through this. I can handle this. That's crisis fucking response, bro. But no, all of this is just for teaching. This is for running a whole fucking learning center. This is all, you know, like your pens, your papers. Everybody get your wands and your fucking feathers and your crystals and your oils. Do we need it all? No, you're not going to see me pull out a wand. If I wiggle my motherfucking finger or light a fucking candle, you better run. I just wiggle my mother. Let me point my fucking finger at you and put my fucking attention at you right now. Let me imagine something dark and let the darkness come. That's the power we have, is the belief. And realistically, the belief in the unseen. Because just because you can't see it, bro, doesn't mean it's not there. And that's what all of this is. Mystical. The shit beyond your conscious knowing. Welcome to the, you know, the Tales from the Crypts. There's nothing scary in my cards. Only what you think about it. You know what I mean? And that's it. I can show you a picture of your childhood friend that can make you real scared, make you start panting and breathing and crying. There's nothing in this fucking, in any of my shit that's going to make you feel that way. Your fears are of people, places, and things you've already experienced or things you've seen on TV. Trying to get you over those stupid fears. You've been fed a lot of bullshit. It's okay. I used to think like you. And that's where you work through all of this. So yeah, I'm not a Buddhist in that sense. I am a guru and a yogi in the sense of you know, mastering enlightenment and being able to stay in stages of meditation for unbelievable amount of times, astral traveling and all that bullshit they do. But I'm not. That's what we teach over here. That's the mystical dark arts. I'm like that fucking from Professor Snape. I come in with my shit. I'm like, all right, let's get to work. Shut the fuck up. Sit the fuck down. Lieutenant Dan, shut the fuck up. Get the fuck down. Really? Yeah, I'm not a love and lighter. I'm like, oh, welcome, Starseeds. The earth says hello. No, I'm like, hey, motherfuckers, listen here. Really? Why? Because I'm constantly in the battlefield, dude. They brought me straight from the spiritual battle to come in here and teach you guys what it's like. And everybody's like, ooh, it's the Lilith. It's the dark goddess. Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she lovely? Yeah, whatever. With fucking sweat dripping down my face and I have no makeup on and I'm out there fighting fucking darkness. Darkness becomes you. Realistically, not really. Have you ever gone to Walmart? That's some darkness right there. All of this just shows you I was gonna say time. Really? Yeah, dimensions of time. Which goes back to your science. Bill Nye the Science Guy. What's going on around us? It's a glitch. You're gonna start to see the glitch. Why? Because there's too many layers of time on top of time. It's too thick. It's thick on the bullshit. Really? Yep. So we have to break off the layers of time and start over. It's collapsing. That's why we're repeating time. It's like it's collapsing. They say behind the veil, right? So someone like me that can see the Akashic records, I can see you repeating time from another lifetime. That's what I mean. The timelines are collapsing. They're just replaying on our timeline. You think it's a new time, but this is like the oldest time ever. And it's like just repeating and I'm doing everything. I'm like the only one trying to like scratch the record, bro. Seriously? I don't want to be here. Repeating time, Groundhog Day, forever and ever, forever, ever, forever, ever. It's been forever. It's been all eternity. Which they don't even know how to date back time to the beginning of time before Christ. They start saying times like they start in the hundreds and in the sixth year and then this year. But that's just according to when they started writing time. What goes back to, oh God. Really? Yeah, we can't break it until we learn it. Then we can go in a different direction of time. Until that, you're just going in loops of time, time loopers. Really? Yeah, so what do you want to learn about tonight? I'm sitting here with all my cards. You want to learn some witchcraft? And that's really what it is. Why do you need to know all that stuff? Well, I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I don't do all that all day long and all night long. What is that? Banishment, cleansing. I have this, I'm going to use it as a thumbnail. It's a picture of weather. It's a picture of weather maps. I think it was called the jet streams of weather. Why do you have a picture of it? I don't know. It was something, it was related. I took a picture of it because it stood out to me because that's the travel of energy, partially. And I tried to explain it. Energy can travel through weather patterns, but it also is in layers upon us. So I'm on the 5th floor, which means I'm in a different elevation of time. Really? Yes. I'm accessing different information. If I go to the 2nd floor and I sit there, I'm going to access a different reality. Really? Yes. They're in layers. Okay. Now, take those layers of time. They're layered. And then you put this jet stream of weather, which is what we know as electricity, energy, and it's pushing through. So now it's mixing the layers of time, right? So where is this? This is a cold front coming down from the north, right? So as it comes down and it goes through the layers of time, it brings in a change in what? Season, personality, destiny, adventure. Really? Yeah. Do you believe in that? All right, let me explain. You're going to have extremely different thought process when you're standing on the ground. You're going to have a different thought process when you're at sea level. You're going to have a different thought process when you're on top of a mountain. Your thoughts change by elevation. Can you believe that? Is that possible to happen? That your conscious level of thinking changes by your nature, by the nature and the environment in which you are? What's changing? The elevation. The elevation changes the nature in which you are. We're at higher elevation. Where am I at? 5280, bitch. Sorry. It's a Colorado thing. It's very aggressive. People are like, Detroit, Detroit. No, that's not what we say over here. We say 5280. What does that mean? That's our elevation. We're at 5,280 feet above sea level. That's the elevation for Denver. That's where you'll see it all over Denver. 5280, 5280, 5280. We're at that elevation. All right. So I can go into the frequencies, the white light frequencies. Where are you, bitches? Bitches and gentlemen. Let's get into the cards. Really? Yeah. I finally knew what I was grabbing at. What are you grabbing for? I'm going to show you. I think it's the frequency of the bear, to be honest, which would be so fucking poetic. What is it? I don't know. Give me a second. These cards are always so stiff. Really? Why? I don't know. Don't you want a stiff one? Do you want them loose? Just kidding. No, they are. They're not, you know what I mean? Like all used up. They're really 852. We're getting close. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Damn, I thought I was getting close. Sorry, I literally have to pull the cards apart. They're totally stuck together. There's nothing on them. They're just in mint condition like this. 33, 417, Alsoni, the Lion's Gate, Beta Wolf. That's what we're going to be in on Sunday. Remind me to read that on Sunday, Holy Spirit. Oh, it's not the bear spirit. What spirit is it? It's probably Venus or some shit. Really? Give me a second. I'll find it. It's 528 hertz. Really? Yeah, it's a fucking frequency. It's not the Tantra. Archon Barbello. 285 hertz is the Yogini. This is going to piss me the fuck off. I'm going to have to go through every one of these. The Crow. I really think I have it somewhere. And maybe I already went through it and I didn't see it. What's this one? Gamma. Solvi. Telepathy. The Deer. Dakini. Bathqual. I really did not miss this, did I? Parvati. Okay, these are light frequencies. So going back to the movie, it was called K-Pax, and he's like, I travel by light, right? So everything's done by light. We're light beings. We're from the light. Whatever. Hold on. I've got to find this. Now I'm pissed. I'm like, what is the frequency of 582 hertz? This is the 285. There's the 852, the spirit of the owl. I'm confused. Really? A little. Maybe it was just the bear spirit, which is 285, which is what? That's the name of Hamden that runs all the way through. Really? Yeah, but I'm sure there was one. Not the tiger, not the sun. Maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping. I could be. A bitch could be. Seraphim is 963. The bear is 360. You're like, what is this? Frequencies, bro. They're frequencies. They're noises. Like what? Like this. Oops, there's one. You just hit it again. Do you hear that? It's a frequency that's traveling through your ear. It's a frequency of sound. So we all have our own sacred frequency that we send off. I guess not. The Yogini was there it is. The mandala of the heart. Have you come to Colorado? Have you ever come to Denver? Have you ever experienced Denver? It's a heart-opening experience. It's very adventurous. They call it colorful Colorado. it's I can't imagine anybody coming and saying they had a bad experience in Colorado unless it was the weather and they were unaware of the weather, which you can't really be prepared for our weather. But with that, yeah. What is it? At least an hour. So that's a frequency. So going back to it is, what are frequencies? Their state of being, and that's where we talk about conscious levels of thinking. As you access different levels of conscious level thinking, you're on different frequencies, so you get different informations based on that wave link. So everybody right now is at a 3D wavelength. Really? Pretty much. That's it. And is there anything to it? I mean, not really. I'm not going to go into this. Of course, it's number 17. I'm not going to break this open right now because I feel like it's a little bit too much and we don't just, you can't open the light like that. Really? No, you can't open the light on a bunch of fucking vampires and shit. It's like, no, don't open the fucking curtains right now with this. Really? You can only, for me, no. I can only pull light cards on light days. Right now, we're in the dark. As much as I'd like to, no, it's going to, you know what I mean? People are sleeping, people are resting, people are in a dark place. You don't do that until it's like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. Really? I can't just bring the light into the dark right now. And I was trying to explain that, something like that, to Bobby. I was like, he wanted to hang out with me over a Saturday into a Sunday. And I was like, those are very different energies, my friend. Like, I wake up joyful and in the light on a Sunday. I am not the same person as I wake up on a Sunday. It's just the flux of the energy. Realistically, and don't wake up next to me on a Monday because I will guaranteedly hate you. I hate men on Monday. No Mondays. You better take your ass to work on a Monday. Just kidding. Sorry, that was a little inappropriate. We'll save this card for a Sunday, which is only a couple days away, but I'm not there. Not really. Well, I mean, we're supposed to be working on our heart, but we'll talk about that. So, we started with, you know, and that's what it is like if you come to my learning center, it's not going to come with, you know, I might be able to tell you what I have the best intentions. I'll pull out 4 cards on a Sunday, but if I really want to do that, I'm going to end up doing that in pieces because they're going to completely interrupt my idea of what we were going to do and add all kinds of the extras. And we're going to take 4 left turns and need a lunch and a break. And we'll come back to this. It's pretty much how it goes all damn day. It's like I had the intention to just talk about one subject, but that one subject left down the pipe hole to all of this other stuff. And finally, we just have to shut down the water system and then turn the sprinklers on again tomorrow and get flooded. They thirst for more. You thirsty mode? Just kidding. Really? Yeah. It all leads to the same place. No matter what I pull out, it all leads to your ascension, to your development, your spiritual development, and making yourself consciously aware of your low vibrational self. And we keep calling it low vibrational because it's better than running around saying you're sinner or you're ugly or you're, you know what I mean, shortcomings or something like that. Low vibrational sounds so much better. I think it's kind of rude to keep running around calling people karmics. I don't feel like that's, I mean, we're all karmic to somebody. We're all somebody's karma. We're all somebody's karma where they're choked up with us and we're teaching them some hard lessons. We're all somebody's karma. So to call a person a karmic is to just throw a negative condemnation on anybody that's not in a happy relationship. Who the fuck is in a happy relationship? That's not on Thorazine or something. Okay, well, that's, you know, teenage heartthrob. Her and her boyfriend love each other. They'd be like a lovey-dovey. They're going to meet up in fucking on July. What day was it? When is he going to meet up? When is he going to be in Las Vegas? This is going to get creepy. If she says July 27th, I'm going to panic. What day is he going to be in fucking the entire month of July? When's he going home? Oh, I don't believe any of that story. Is his mom a fuck? Just kidding. I didn't. I didn't even think it. I shut it down right there. But you must understand, I kind of wonder why she has a summer gig in Las Vegas. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say it. I questioned the authority of God and then I did not. Don't let me think about anything. I've got questions. I have questions for the creator. All right, so that's where we're at, and I'll probably lose another 5 of you. The same 5 I picked up last night. I'm gonna have to drop off at the next fucking bus stop as I load up my following onto the crazy station. mm. Why do people watch me? Because they see it's real. My question is, why don't they really do it in their own lives? Are they afraid they're gonna like blow up their head or something? They're gonna invoke a dirty spirit? What are they? I don't know. We got those, the Google witches. They're like, I'm gonna bind this bitch. Bro, you don't even know how to do magic and you're gonna do aggressive magic. You're gonna do like curses and hexes, and you don't even know how to fucking cleanse your fucking aura. You don't even know how to clean your chakras, but you're ready for such high levels of magic. You're gonna harm somebody now? Shut up. Somebody fucking take the safety off their gun and let them shoot themselves in the toe. I'm not, I mean, I do have over 200 videos that I locked down because I realized people were doing such things with my videos and they might be cursing themselves and their children. You can practice advanced level magic, but if you don't have the heart's intention, it's not going to manifest quite as you see it. And realistically, as I said in my last video, you're not supposed to be manifesting, happiness. You're just supposed to be going with the flow, going with the visions that are given to you and being brave enough to create those. And that goes back to Metatron. It's like, yeah, I mean, I wish I would have been the person that came up with Velcro or something cooler. But, we all have our purpose and reasons. And, we don't need to go chasing other people's fucking ideas when God's got us, got our head filled in the sky with lots of stuff that we already don't want to do. Don't think that the grass is greener, that somebody has a better, easier project that's going to get you rich. Money isn't going to buy you happiness. You're just going to be stressing the little things, realistically. God, do you want to talk about something? I don't want to talk about the mantle of the heart right now. I'm sitting here holding all of these. I'm on the cusp of the light. I can feel it. Really? Yeah. Let's start with this. We'll do this one and we'll leave. Really? Yeah. I feel like he can maybe, I feel a burst of energy, and that's why, I feel the light. We're not all dingy dark. It's okay to be all, comfy and shit, but the sun will come out tomorrow and we're gonna have to get off our ass and do some shit. That's what I told my daughter. She's like, you didn't fix my phone. I was like, let's do that on a Saturday. I have all kinds of energy on a Saturday morning. She's like, I have none. I was like, well, I'll get you up. I'll give you the energy. Realistically, I always want to do some stupid shit on a Saturday. Let's go fucking do all kinds of stupid shit. Really? Always do. All right, where we at, God? Damn. You heard me do all of that, and it's the same card I pulled last time, which is what? We're trying to wake up to our new life. We're not really there yet. I saw the moon as I was coming in. It's building up to a full moon. We're not there yet. And though I might say that usually by now I would have built up to something, this one's not external. We're still processing. We're building up to something. This is going to be the biggest something. Why? Because this one's going to have a really strong foundation. The other ones are temporary, but this one's supposed to give us the legs that really stick into the ground. That's how I see it. Like one manifestation? No. The meaning behind it. I know I'm still manifesting it. I just haven't took action at it, and I'm still trying to open up to the possibilities and stuff. So I'm still on the same track, which is what? God wanted me to manifest a bigger house and a bigger life with bigger possibilities. And I still am, even though I haven't actually made it happen. Just opening, the mind power comes before the actual the materialization of it. I still got to give it a lot more thoughts. It came out of nowhere and it ruined what I was thinking and it destroyed the way I was thinking. And it's taken me a long time to break down that thought process to open it myself up to this one. It's not impossible. And even though I can't see myself in a relationship and having a baby within the next year, it's not impossible. Even though I'm afraid of the very idea of it and I don't want that to happen right this year, it's not impossible. I just have to work through this and make it an actual possibility. Once I do it, there's nothing saying I have to fill it with a fucking baby right away. Again, this room can be an art room. It can be my fucking spiritual room. It could be a meditation room. It could be a dance center for my daughter. It could be a great many things. We could turn it into a studio for me to record music. It could be a movie room. It could be all kinds of things. But I have to start with this thought and let it develop. It can grow into many things. It doesn't just have to be a nursery, but they use my worst fear to get through this blockage. Really? Yeah. It's just residual energy. You want to have a fucking newborn in your situation? Is what he said to me. My current situation is not ideal, but thank goodness I have 9 months of manifestations to make this happen. And with the help of God, I don't have to worry. Don't worry, it will cost you nothing, dipshit. God, how can you see children? That's why. It's her fault. It's the world's fault. He sees children and number and dollar amounts. He told me that a long time ago. Do you know how much it would cost to raise my children plus your 4? Bro, 2 of them are grown. Hey, you know what happened? I'm very disappointed in him, but I'm not surprised. Talked to my son before he was getting off of parole. He said he was going to get off parole and he might have a drink or something. Anyways, I reached out to my daughter and she said, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm just used to being grown and plus you're taking care of the siblings, so I just didn't really care about it. As far as Aaron, he's back in jail. I said, what the fuck happened? She said he got off of parole and he went to do a beer run and he had a knife on him. So he's in jail. I'm like, oh man, this is so stupid. First off, he had a job last time I talked to him, so why is he stealing beer? Why was he carrying a knife? It's just that. It's like as soon as they let the reins go, you go back to your old stupid behaviors. I'm very sad for him. Spend another holiday in the fucking slammer. I'm like, damn, that's so sad. But, you can have the best intentions, dude, but if they let you out, dude, you're going to continue to do the same things because you don't even know what's making you do it. Why did he have to go steal beer? He didn't. My daughter would have bought him one, and if she said no, that should have been enough. He did all those years of not drinking to stay, you know what I mean? To stay clean on parole. But the second they told him he could drink, he had to go act like that. I'm very disappointed. But at least it explains because I didn't understand why he didn't call me for Christmas. He's very lovey-dovey. He really is. He's a good kid. And I was like, well, he didn't even call me. He's like, well, Mom, he's in jail. Oh, that's sad. You're like, damn, really? Yeah. I used to be really worried because he's a little mental and he's very soft. I'm like, he's gonna get in there and they're gonna like rape him or beat him up or something. No, you gotta leave that at God and shit. And like, he's grown. He's gotta go in and, he did the crime. He's gotta do his time. Really stupid, isn't it though? I'm sure my daughter's very relieved though. She's been taking care of him ever since he got out of the home. And I'm sure she gets a little space and she doesn't have to worry about feeding him or cleaning up after him or telling him to do nothing. You know what I mean? She gets a little space and whatever. I don't know what that's going to do for him, though. Fucking fucked up his whole situation. Jeez. What an idiot, right? I mean, he's a spitting image of his father. What can I say? If it wasn't for me, he'd have no work ethic. At least I'd teach him how to make money before he does all that stupid shit. Realistically, yeah. New life. It's right around the corner for me, but I can't seize it any quicker, and that's because I'm still not focused on it. I haven't really wrapped myself around it. Really? Yeah. It's not that I'm in two minds of it, it's just I haven't really jumped on it. It's not like I have anything else going for me. I'm not going to back up and go take, you know what I mean, the other house or go looking for anything smaller. And with the holidays, again, my caseworker is out of town until next week, so this gives me a time to fucking really settle in. And then wouldn't you know it, my fucking ego. I hate my ego, which is my fucking idling mind. So I go and check. I was like, did they fire me? No, they still have me on the schedule. So my mind's like, you should just go to work and make some more money. I thought we quit the job. Oh man, that means I'm gonna have to fight this again on Monday. Why? Because I still have a job. If you still have the temptation, you're still gonna give into it. Why is it temptation? Because as long as I'm working on that job, I'm not getting a new job. Do you see how this is? Holy fucking moly! Somebody take the job away from me. Really? Somebody else is saying she needs a job. I mean, I will have one. I just need to get my mind right. It's not even standing in front of me. I can magically, deliciously manifest one. But that's not my purpose right now. I'm not looking for something to pay me money to stay right here comfortably. Trying to expand my mind out to the way I see it, because it became so much bigger, is it's like it has to be a house. I'm seeing it has to be a house. Like I can get a 2-bedroom house and get it furnished with a 2-bedroom basement, and now it becomes a 4-bedroom. I don't see a 4-bedroom apartment, which means I don't see it in the city. I'm trying to see this vision, bro. I can see this vision. What can you see? A hallway and some rooms. That's how it starts. You create from your imagination and it starts to take form. And then you somehow walk down it and you see this hallway, dude. You're like, this is it. This is what I saw in my vision. This is exactly what I saw. This is the home. This is the one that God was telling me. Where is it? Far away. I know it's far away. I feel like it's very far away from here. How far? I don't know. Somewhere way out west. How far? On the other side of the mountains. At least on the other side of Glenwood Springs, on the other side of Rifle, on the other side of Vale. Really? What's up there? Beautiful lands. If you've ever traveled west, you would have seen these beautiful towns and be like, damn, I wish I lived there. They're really beautiful lands, which means they have schools and they have hospitals and they have stores and I can't tell you. I've only seen it. I've seen it in real life on my trips, and I couldn't possibly drive you up there now in the middle of winter. There's no way. It's on the other side of winter. But winter is still there too. It's just not here. It's coming this weekend, fucking shit. Seriously, today was literally in the 70s again. But they said it's going to be in the 20s this weekend. It's like, how do you deal with it? Buckle down, bitches. These people are crazy. They'll go buy a bunch of fucking milk and bread and cereal. For what? 2 days of snow? I don't know. Just curl up. Get some fucking, I don't know. They act like they never made it through COVID. They act like they're going to die in their house and that. I don't know what kind of winter they came from, dude. I don't know. They don't know the snow or I don't know. It's going to be funny. And then there's going to be these people that swear to God their 4-wheel drive is a fucking tank and that they're going to be out there. Love watching those ones. I want a TV just for that reason. I want regular TV just to watch these idiots in the snow. But really, yeah, that's what I feel. I feel like it's somewhere further than here. And the job itself I'll have before I get there. And that's in my computer. Really? Mm-hmm. It creates before you. You go with the creation. You can only get pieces of it. You're just sitting there and you're watching. It's your imagination is almost creating it. So be careful though. Don't be creating it with people and stupid shit like that. Let it create itself. Let it, you know what I mean? Let it fill itself out. It's like, where could this be that you're seeing this place? And that's where it is. I try to scan and it's like, is it here? Nope. What's out there? I don't know. A whole new world. I mean, I don't know. It's Colorado. Something. I've been to 28 states of Mexico. Pretty much it's people, places, and things. Really? That's pretty much what you're going to get when you step out your neighborhood. People, places, and things. Hey, there's a person on here. Hello, person. Hold on. I didn't set a chat. I could have put messages in there I didn't recognize. So as far as your new life, don't rush into it because you don't even know what it is. And you trying to create it is not even letting it be. trying to create something that you've already seen through somebody else's lens. You're like, I want to be like the O'Doyles, or I'm gonna move to, I'm guilty of it, guilty of it. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to live where you live, and I want to work where you work, and I want to have a life like you have. No, give it a little bit. God's going to show you how to have your own brave life. And that's where it's really cool, is because you get to run away to this new place, and you get to be the new person, and you get to have this new life. And you don't have to, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't have to live up to the expectation of what it is. You get to be all new. It's not like it matters anyways, but in that sense, it's like going back to your old neighborhood is just going back to something old, something recognizable. There's nothing really exciting about that. The discovery of something new, it's like, I've never lived here before. We got to go find, you know what I mean? Where's our local grocery store? And you know what I mean? Where's the schools? And like, we're going to figure this out, and let's find some restaurants. And what do people do around here? And where's the cemetery? What kind of creepy shit happens here? And what's the history here? And, stuff like that. I really dig it. Really? Yeah, my kids are going into high school. So my daughter's already there. She hasn't had the best experience this year, but my son goes into it next year. And it's like, I want them to have, it would be cooler to have a more smaller community ordeal than them trying to fit into a big city high school and trying to find their way. And that's kind of what happened to me. I moved from Denver, from Lakewood, Colorado. I was supposed to go to Bear Creek High, and I moved to Point Loma in San Diego. And how did that happen? Exactly, dude. That was like moving to Fort Collins. It was like way too upper class to begin with. And I got shoved into this really major preppy high school. And it was like 90210. For real, dude. It was all big and bad. And trying to find my way through it and trying to be part of this all by myself was extremely difficult. It was a real big, literal, high school setting. And it didn't work out so well. Later, whatever the case may be, I went through alternative schools and stuff like that, were a little bit more slow pace. And even going back to San Diego high school, it wasn't all that crazy preppy shit like that. Now I'm guilty of that because I did that to my kids. I shoved them over in the same neighborhood and put them in this preppy ass Carmody middle school, and they were forced to keep up. And it was a force, but they fit in quite well. And then you take them back to Oklahoma to finish the school year where their dad grew up, and that was more their pace. They had a better time to it. They made better friends. They enjoyed the pace a lot more in fucking Oklahoma. And it was so funny. Mr. Plum was like, you're raping them of a good education by bringing them down here. We don't have half the shit that those schools offer. And when they got down there, I remember they were tickled by the foods they were eating. They liked the people. They made friends. It was good for them. They came home different kids than all the years of going to school and all of them, all the different places that I had ever taken them. They actually enjoyed their school experience down in that shit ass town. So I believe a smaller town and a smaller community will be better for them. They can make more, closer relationships instead of trying to keep up with the fastest lanes. And that's really what it is I'm always looking for these big schools that have all of this to offer, that have great STEM, and that, because they're gifted and talented, I'm always pushing them into, higher levels, and I'm arguing with the schools that they're not pushing them. I didn't do that this time. And that's why my son's all bored. And then I was like, well, I better do something. He's really fucking up. Really? Yeah, he's like fucking hanging out in the bathroom during his classes. It's like, this is boring. That sucks. We don't send kids to school to do that. My daughter literally sends me a text every day. I get the call at 3:30. She's out of that class. She'll tell me all the time, she's not learning anything. They're not doing anything. Nobody's going to miss her. She's like, there's nothing. What are you going to say to that? Do you go and tell them, hey, you're not doing your job and you're not pushing my kid? So then she gets put into another class, and that's where it is. She's got all fucking honors classes. And that's what was giving her all that fucking anxiety. Based on her background, they put her in all honors. Plus she had weightlifting and ROTC. She had no room for creativity. So they got rid of the weightlifting because there was some guy that kept checking her out and was saying he can't wait till she turns 18. I was like, that would freak me out too. God damn it. She gave up that class to be teacher's pet. So now she's a school assistant or an office assistant during the day. Let's talk about structured. I don't make her structure. She just lives by, Okay, all right, I might be that Marnet. But in the essence of, I just feel like, for high school, they would be better in a smaller organization. I learned that the hard way with me always trying to push for the best and the best, and then pushing them to be the best. And then they're great. They're the great in the learning department, but then they get around these assholes. These kids are assholes. Really? Yeah, I blame their parents and their parents' parents. And that's it. They can't get along with them. And that's where my daughter's drawn to the fucking, the mentally ill, or they're drawn to her, the fucking really upside down fucking Princess of Cups type kids. And my son is always, they're like, he just seems to make friends with all the wrong kids. Well, who are the right kids? He seems to be having fun with this. I'm just saying. So I'm trying to think on a bigger scale, which is never where I'm thinking, and that's why we're still manifesting. And the new life hasn't started because we haven't accepted the new possibilities fully. If we keep limiting ourselves to the backyard that I know of Denver, which is pretty big, if I don't step outside my backyard and break the fence, then I might not find out what's out there. Really? Yeah. So I'm gonna leave that. I mean, and that's what happened last time I talked to her. All I have to do is, that's her job now, Ella's job now, because I don't have the housing navigator. She said, I used to do this before. This is just a pilot. When I tell her what I'm looking for and that I'm actually wanting to leave the perimeter, you know what I mean? I can go further, then that opens up a lot more possibilities. Think about it. Everybody's fighting for a place here in Denver. Everybody's going to the same locations. They're all putting in the applications. They're all fighting to live in the same neighborhoods and, go to the same schools and stuff. And I'm like, can I get a first class ticket to Alamosa, please? Where's that? I told you it's way on the south side. It's not where I'm going. I'm trying to go west, but I don't know the name of those towns out there. I do know they have a plane now. We've gotten far enough in time that you can catch a plane from DIA to, it's like a 45-minute ride from here to Grand Junction. Otherwise, it's a 5-hour drive through the treacherous mountains. I mean, they're not treacherous during the summer, but right now, it's a no-go. You can take the Polar Express. I don't think it'll get you that far. I've taken buses, but realistically, it's on the other side of the mountains, dude. There's some great towns up there. Really? Yeah, they're really great. I've seen them. I can see them off the side of the road. I can see them. I just don't know what they're called. I need a map. It's pissing me off. I don't want to go down south. The more you go down south, you hit the mountains again. You'll hit New Mexico has some killer ass mountains. I was never expecting that when I left Colorado. They're mountains. And Arizona's, those were amazing. The top of Arizona, those mountains, holy moly, are they beautiful. What was it called? The Tonto National Forest? Bro, it was like looking at like the national forest of the Grand Canyon. It was like just long, lush mountains, beautiful stuff. I really like the outdoors. If I could, I'd be in Washington or Oregon, but we're not doing that. That's on my way to fucking Washington. Alaska. So yeah, we have new life, and that's really what it is. Are we limited to our own backyard, or are we going to go further than our backyard? How far will our faith take us? How much can you believe in God and his ability to create something amazing? And what he's already, it's not really that. You don't want to create off of nothing, but he's giving you visions. How far can you take this? And will you actually do something about it once it's given to you? Or be like, no, that was a great idea, but I'm not going to do that. I don't know. That's where it starts, is I start pushing my mind past Denver. When she tries to pull me back into Denver, or someone tries to pull me in, I have to push it further. Why? I mean, there's an adventure out there. I don't know what's out there. I can't even tell you. I can just see it. And that's how it starts, a visionary. It's like, what are you going after? I don't know. Right now, a good education for my kids and a 4-bedroom house. Where's that? Out there. Wild West. Really? I'm not sure, but I've watched this. As God is my witness, remember this day. It will come to be. And you'll be like, holy shit, it was real. Every one of my manifestations are. Where do you think Target came from? It's in my videos. God told me to apply for that fucking job, that I was going to get that job. Then later I say, God, I said, I can see myself getting both of these jobs and trying to juggle both of these jobs. I see what's to be and I take action in it and it becomes. Really? Yeah. I'm brave enough to leave home again. I kept leaving home, but I kept feeling like I couldn't be away from home and that I needed to be home. I didn't feel safe outside of Denver. I kept leaving with the whole intention that I'd be back. I feel like I'm ready to leave Denver again. And not because I'm forced and because they're kicking me out and I have nowhere else to go and I'm giving up, but because I think I'm ready to have an adventure outside of Denver, a standing adventure. And what it means is I'm planning routes, at least for a year. We know that much. That's brave. Why do I always come home to Denver? It makes me feel safe. I don't have any family or friends here. I don't have anything here. I could easily go to San Diego and know, if I felt safe. I could go to any of the places I lived before. It's just that here I feel safe. Doesn't matter. I can be out in the streets outside. Nothing here scares me. Nothing? No. It's Denver. There's not. It's not to say we don't have crime and that there's not shit that happens, but when you've seen real dangerous places, you don't fear such places like Denver. And it's just home to me. I feel safe. Not a particular neighborhood, not a particular apartment. I just feel home in Denver. I can move through any place of it and know that we're okay. Really? Yeah, something like that. And I feel like I'm ready to finally leave home. Not too far, obviously, still within the state, but still leave home, which is a rebirth because before, you know what I mean? Number one, I was running from home. I didn't want to come here and face all of these memories and stuff. And I feel like I've done it. And now I'm ready to start new memories somewhere else. We could plant them on top of the old memories and stuff like that, but they'll always mix. We could start, we can uproot our family and take our culture and plant it in some other land. Be the city people up in the little towns. Oh, they're from Denver. Yeah, we're the big guys. We're from Denver. I always laugh about shit like that. Really? Yeah, it's a joke. Okay. Anyways, if you ever came to Denver, it's such a small town. It's such a small city and compared to major cities. When you get in, you're like, that's Denver? It's so tiny. that's the quaintness in it. We're not a major city like that. We don't have all those tall buildings. There's a lot going on in that little downtown there. But no, we're not a big city. And that's why it's funny. It's like, you're the city folk. I love it. All right. So we'll talk about this, I guess, maybe tomorrow will be in the light. We don't really need to talk about the new life, but we'll talk about the mandala of the heart and how it's pumping and asking you to take risks on yourself in the name of happiness. I'm not worried about shit like that. What if you can't find a job? What are you talking about? How are you going to get there? What are you talking about? Those are your worries, not mine. And that's where it is I'm way past those kind of thinking. Those things used to hold me back in the beginning. They don't hold me back anymore. There's for every question there is an answer. You just have to ask the right question and God shall give you the answer. Really? Yeah. So I didn't teach you anything mystical other than the fact that you can't even begin to learn it if you can't believe in it. What's the point of putting in information that you're going to reject from the very moment I give it to you? Like I tell you, I take you out to a new restaurant and you don't want to try any of the food. Like you're rejecting every option that you see on the menu. You knew it was going to be new and you had never had anything before and you're looking for something familiar. Well, don't they have like a cheeseburger or like some chicken nuggets or something? No. You're going to have to try something new. I'm not saying you're going to love it, but maybe you do. And that's where we can start. Well, what do you like? What do you believe in? Whatever you believe in, I'm sure I've been taught about other than Santa Muerte. That came out of nowhere. I mean, I've heard about it. We can start at the beginning of your belief system. You can tell me what you believe in, and I can tell you more beliefs that support your beliefs. How about that? Really? But then I'm going to tell you some things you might not believe in. And the question is, could you maybe consider the possibility in believing in this? Or it's just absolutely it could never be. If you look at religion or any of the spiritual shit like that, then you probably look at your life very narrow minded. I'm going to leave on this note. This is a true story. A close friend of mine, Taz, was a very hard hustler. She really was. I didn't tell nobody what she was up to. It's nobody's damn business. She was a hustler, baby. And Taz got caught up in a case, but she didn't get caught on her own hustle. Her sister got caught. She was at a place, and her sister got caught. They raided the house, and they were about to take her sister's fucking kids, and they were gonna for all these drugs that they found. And when she saw it going down, the righteousness inside of her told her to sacrifice herself and tell the cops it was hers. She was trying to save her sister from a fate worse than death, which was going to jail and losing her children. What happened? Taz is going to jail and losing her children for doing that. And she was like, so she thought she'd be able to beat the case, but it didn't look that way. And one day I picked her up, and she's like, bro, they're trying to give me fucking 4 years or something longer than that. It could have been much longer than that. And she's crying to me, and she's like, I can't do this. I can't leave my kids. I can't go to jail. I can't do this. I was like, this is all you can do. She's like, no, I can't. I was like, all right, fine. If you're not going to do this, then let's think about it. What can you do? And I told her something that she couldn't believe. I said, hey, you know what you could do? You could run away to Mexico. They wouldn't extradite you. You could learn Spanish. You could get an online job, eat Mexican food. Your kids could come to visit you. You could start a new life down there. You wouldn't go to jail. You'd still lose your kids for a little while, but not like this. There's lots of people. I could help you. I could even drive you out there myself. She said, bitch, you're crazy. And she's laughing. She's like, you are so crazy. It made her stop freaking out. But she thought I was crazy. And I was very serious. Why? Because I'd known people that had done it before. I met people on the other side that could never come back. Full-blown American citizens that had broken the law, and now they have to live down there. They have bank accounts, direct deposit, and you know what I mean? And fucking, money exchange that keeps them alive down there, and the fucking dollar goes so much further. But they can never come back here. They can never live here again. If they come across, they'll have to fucking serve their time. And for some reason, that time is worse than the life that they chose. It's an option. It was never something you ever thought of before. It's not crazy. People have done it before. You have to just decide, what are your options? Do you really have an option? Can you do anything but go to jail? Is everything going to be okay? And that's what I said. You got your kids' housing right before you went in. They're going to be okay. Go and do your time and clear and stop this. And what did we say, bro? You're not going to stop hustling until they stop you. They're trying to stop you. If you don't stop here, then you're going to end up there anyways. What happened? I don't know. I would assume she went to jail. What other option did she have? She wasn't running away to Mexico. She wasn't that G. I'm not encouraging that, but I mean, at that time, because of the information and the knowledge and the wisdom I had in my life, that was a logical answer to give her. She thought I was crazy, but it was an option. So when we go back to this and you're like, I could never do that. You could, you just never thought of it. And that goes back to, me and Bobby. We could never do this. We could. We've just never thought this through. We could do this. We just never thought about it. And that's where it is can you consider new possibilities, new ways of life, new ways of believing, new ways of being? Because if not, you're not going to get a new life. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. If you don't change your current life, you're not going to have a new life. And it's not, oh, I can change one area of my life and now my life is better. Maybe if all of your life is dependent on this area, if you just quit your job, then the rest of your life gets better. Okay, perhaps. I don't think so, though. It's all intermended, it's all intertwined. It feeds off of it's all of it, because your work life are now your social friends, and your social friends are part of your family friends, and all of this is intertwined. I don't think you can really just detach from one area without it pulling on the strings of all areas of your life, because you intertwined it all together. You tied it all together. You brought it in. You crossed the lines. Really? I mean, do you party with your work friends? Then you no longer have a professional relationship with them. You have a personal or social obligation to them, which means that the lines of professionality are blurred because you have personal relations with this person. Really? Mm-hmm. And social responsibilities to this person, which also gives you guys a certain relationship outside of the typical relationship that works in work areas, which turns into those cliques. And then it comes to, favoritism and, all that twisted shit. And that goes back to your neighbors. You know what I mean? How close are your neighbors? How much are they in your business? How much is this? Are they your neighbors? That's your family. Is your family, or your family is your neighbors, and your family is this? And it's like, you've mended it all in together. When you go missing, they call your job, your girlfriend, and your fucking auntie. You know what I mean? They know how to get a hold of all of your people because it's all part of the same thing. Really? Yeah. So as far as your new life, you got a lot of work to do. You don't have to leave all parts of it, but you can't take all of it with you. Know that. Got it? Love yous. Laters. Bye.